Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's show of on arthritis and Ayurveda. We are holding short for a few people to join in, so let people come as we go by. So, as Dr. Imsaj in naturopathy and yoga on Ayurveda, today we have Dr. Jobi, who has done her BAMS from Begumpur University, Odisha. She has done her Panchkarma and gynecology training from various centers in Kerala. Did her yoga course from S. Vyasa University, Chigni, Bangalore. She has also worked in various national and international centers in Odisha, Coimbatore, Kerala, and Bangalore. And now she is with us holding a seminar. And also, she has been as a senior Ayurveda consultant dealing with Kerala Panchkarma, gynecology, and infertility cases. Doctor, I would like to take over. I'd like you to take over the session, and a warm welcome to all of the members who have joined for our session today evening. Hope you have a nice one. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you, Aditya. Welcome everybody. So today's session is on arthritis and how Ayurveda can help. So in your day-to-day life, among your neighbors or your relatives, in your friends circle, you must have heard this common problem of joint pain. It could be knee joint, it could be wrist joint, it could be any small joints also. So that is a sign of arthritis. So what is arthritis? The definition goes, inflammation of one or more joints causing pain and stiffness that can worsen with age. So here arthritis, it can be a disease itself. Also, it can be a sign symptom of many other diseases as well. So here I'll be just taking up a few arthritis that usually we get in our clinic. And the major ones that we get are rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, psoriatic arthritis, septic arthritis, gouty arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, chikungunya, and also post-injury or post any sprain, if the treatment is not done properly or anything is remaining, the swelling is not removed, that in future also leads to arthritis. So one by one, I'll just explain the sign symptoms. Rheumatoid arthritis, we usually see in young people, in teenagers, in the age group of 20s or 30s. And the main symptoms are joint pains all over the body. It starts with small joints. And morning, when the person gets up in the morning, it's very difficult for the person to get out of bed, because he or she will be having a full body pain, will have muscle pain, will not be able to move his joints. And after some time of daily routine and work, then it becomes all right. They will also feel internal fevers and chills. Fever which it will not show in the thermometer, but in Ayurveda we say there is fever, there is internal fever, and there will be body pain and severe weakness also. It is an autoimmune disease, and if it is not treated properly, it can lead to joint deformity. You can see in the picture down. And it can really hamper the person's daily life. Sometimes patients come to us who have sign symptoms, but their lab reports are all normal. And sometimes the vice versa. The lab reports show that they have arthritis, but they have no sign symptoms. So we need to So we need to see that, or in Ayurveda we say that it could be a purva rupam, or going into the arthritic disease. And if we have to give treatment and start treatment, otherwise it will again in future cause problems. In Ayurveda, the practitioners and doctors of Ayurveda long time back, they struggled to get a name in WHO to prove that rheumatoid arthritis can be cured by Ayurvedic medicines and treatments. They did a lot of clinical documentation, clinical trials, and they have proved it. So even if modern medicine says that rheumatoid arthritis is not curable, it has cure in Ayurveda. Next is osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis is a degenerative disease. It usually affects the joints in the old age or middle age, usually in women post their menopause. Or if the person has heavy body weight, that also affects the joints. It puts more pressure. So mainly we see in the knee joint or the hip joint that if you see in the first picture, this is the normal joint. The synovial fluid moves normally, so there is no problem with the joint. The second picture you can see there is loss of joint space. The synovial fluid is reduced, due to which there is friction happening and the person cannot take that pain. So what happens is, even if you are taking anti-inflammatory drugs, that is, it will only suppress. The swelling will only be suppressed. But what requires is regeneration of those tissues. The synovial fluid also has to be maintained. So initial stages, there are 4 stages in this condition. Initial stages, you take the medicine, do the treatments, the bone health improves. But mostly what happens is people go to other treatments, they try out various treatments, also go for surgery, and still if they are not happy with what improvement they get, along with other complications like diabetes, thyroid, they come to Ayurveda. And in spite of those complications also, we have improved their health condition. Next is psoriatic arthritis. This arthritis, it comes usually when the person already has psoriasis. It's a skin disease and it can affect any age group, but usually the arthritis will come after many years if the psoriasis is not treated or the person doesn't maintain a good lifestyle. Same stiffness of joints will be there, but these lesions will be also seen. Then there is septic arthritis. This usually happens if there is a joint infection. Risk is more if the person is already using an artificial joint, or they have diabetes or any other infection in the body which spreads to the joints. It is mainly because of poor immune system, and bacteria, virus which is already present in the body can go and affect any specific bone or joint, and that causes the septic arthritis. This is usually a surgical case, and what you need to understand is, if you are already getting any symptoms of infection or any other problems in the body, you need to cure that immediately and not let it lead into such type of arthritis. Then this is gouty arthritis. This affects only one joint and usually the big joints. It could be the toe joint or the knee joint, and it is very difficult in moving the joint. Severe pain is there, usually because of increase in uric acid, and it is called the rich man's disease or disease of the king, because when people stop looking at their lifestyle and they don't follow the strict routine of life, and they eat whatever they want without knowing the right combination, such things happen. It is you can say people are unaware of. Next is systemic lupus erythematosus. This also is found more in women, and it causes multiple problems. This is also an autoimmune disease. It affects the whole body, rather the brain, the skin, heart, joints, vascular system, everything. So you can see a mark, like a reddish mark, like a butterfly mark just over the nose. That's an indication of this disease. Then is chikungunya. Though this disease is mosquito borne, but it has shown signs symptoms of joint pains also. Even if you, in the first picture, you can see it is fever and body pain. The second is skin rashes you will find. And third is joint pains, swellings will be there. So there are many people who, after taking treatment of chikungunya, also have come with severe joint pains, which they have, many years. And after taking a good detox treatment, good Ayurvedic treatment, they have recovered from it. So of all these, all the arthritis that we went through, the common sign symptoms are pain in the joint, swelling will be there will be stiffness of the joint, difficulty in moving a joint, there could be fever, and yes, digestive problems also are seen, either prior to the arthritis problem or after the arthritis starts. And severe tiredness also will be there. Yeah, general causes of arthritis. This is in Ayurveda actually a very broad topic to discuss, but I will be telling you what are the main points that cause arthritis. As and when we take more and more classes, we will be going into one by one various, the causes and how to discipline your life, how to know what to eat right. That will help you to come out of any disease. So wrong lifestyles, diet timings, be it breakfast, be it lunch or dinner, the timing should be correct. If your sleep timing should be correct. Usually I tell my patients, you sleep by 10 o'clock in the night and get up at about 5 or 6. You get the total rest the body requires. So the diet also should be like that. Have an early dinner at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So the breakfast also time falls at 8 or 9. And never eat after 10 o'clock. That really gives a load to the liver. And it will bring about hormonal problems. It will disrupt your digestion and nutrition absorption. That will lead to arthritis if your bones are already weak. Then there is wrong combination of food that people follow everywhere, either because of ignorance or because of the taste they like. So the wrong combination of food, the right combination we should know. One I would mention is curd. Curd is it's a wholesome food. It should not be combined with any other food. We see in the restaurants, people make with curd, they mix fruits with curd, non-veg, and just after meals they take curd. So these are all wrong methods. Curd itself requires a long time to digest. It is sluggish. So when you have to take it in empty stomach, and the quantity should be very less. You have to add it either with a little sugar or with salt. I mentioned this especially for rheumatoid arthritis, septic arthritis, and psoriatic arthritis. People suffering from these, please don't take curd. You can take buttermilk instead. Buttermilk is the amount of curd that you're taking into 4 times water. You have to add 4 times water to it. Churn it nicely, take the curd, churn it in the grinder nicely, remove the butter from top, and then add the water. So that helps to build up the immunity, while the curd, it will reduce your immunity. Also, you may ask me that there are so much of fatless curds coming, but the property of that curd doesn't change. It is still the same. Even if there is no fat, the property is still the same. You keep it in the fridge, again it increases its negative properties. So please avoid curd. And also in northern India, potato is very famous, very is a favorite for everybody, and they use it for all 3 meals. So please do not take any food for all 3 meals continuously daily. Always keep changing. Know your climatic condition, know your geographical condition to take what is local to the market, what is local to that area, what is seasonal. Use those fruits and vegetables. Also, multitasking, too much of tension, overwork. So what happens is it disturbs our chemical balance, our hormonal balance, and we are not, it disrupts our digestion also. So this in future leads to lot of problems of arthritis or any disease. And eating stale food or refrigerated foods. This especially I would mention where women who look after the family, it is right that they think that food should not be wasted, so they become the dustbin to finish up everything. But please note that it should not be more than 1 day old. Do not keep any vegetables or fruits, anything in the fridge and have it just like that. You need to keep cooked food not more than 1 day. And when you remove it out from the fridge, please do heat it properly and then take it. Even water also should not be directly taken from the refrigerator. The food that is left over also should be in good combination of what you're eating, not just rice, chapati, dal, whatever is available, whatever is left over, you just gobble up everything. It's not like that. Then suppressing urges. Here, Ayurveda has mentioned about 14 urges like cough, sneeze, belching, burping, crying, then motion, urination, flatulence. So these all things should never be suppressed. These are all building up toxins in the body. That is why it is asking the body to release it from the body. So if you are having the urge to pass motion, please pass it at that time. When you hold it back, what happens is all the toxins are again pulled back into the body. Even urination, if you say, okay, it's okay, I'm doing a work, I'll go later, or I'm cooking in the kitchen, it needs attention, I'll go later. So what happens is that is retaining in the body and it is pulling in all the toxins again. And 1 day, 2 days is fine, but when you repeatedly do these habits over and over again, that in future leads to various problems. Another important aspect is oils. We know Ayurveda is well known for oils, and it has very well mentioned that oil should be used in children, in babies, in old age, so that it increases your longevity. It gives your muscles and bones good strength, externally, also internally. But what you should know is, you should know your body type as to which oil suits you. Coconut oil, neem oil, they are all cold in nature. Sesame oil, mustard oil, castor oil, these are all very hot in nature. So it should not be what you think that oils will increase your cholesterol level, it will increase your weight. That's a wrong notion actually. The fault lies in the packaged oils that we buy from the markets. They are all refined, processed, and they use a lot of mineral oils, which directly hampers our immunity. If you really want to get the benefit of the oils, directly go to the mill and buy it from there. That gives you the proper health benefits. So also, just a moment. Am I visible, Dr. Aditya?
Yeah, you can.
Can you see the slide?
Yes, yes. Please carry on.
Yeah. 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 So, yeah, I was saying, even when people opt for spas and massages, it really relaxes you. That's true. But if you're already having pain in your body, if you're having swelling in your body, then please don't use oils until you consult with your Ayurvedic physician, because it can increase your problems. Yeah, even hot fermentation that we take, sometimes people just apply externally or take these treatments externally. They feel that externally it will help, internally the medicines are very bitter, so it is better to avoid. But please remember, externally it works, internally it needs the proper flushing out so that the swelling can get down. If you don't take those medicines, what happens is the swelling remains. Even and those oils, when it absorbs into the body, it again increases your problem. So in Ayurveda, we follow yeah, I'll tell you. Simple home remedies that you can follow is dry ginger powder, mix it with a little salt water and apply it on the joint where there is swelling. It helps to reduce. But at the same time, please do take internal medication so that the swelling is removed out of the body and it doesn't remain there. Garlic, you can take garlic, boil it in milk with a little water, and you can drink that. That also helps to reduce the inflammation and pain. Also, it is good in digestion, and if you're having cholesterol problem also, it helps. Sandalwood with rose water, you can make a paste and apply. This is for psoriasis problem. But if the lesions are small only, if you're having big lesions in many parts of the body, then please, it won't help much. Then this guduchi plant also, the stem, if you take and make it into decoction and eat, it is a very good immunity booster. It helps to reduce the swelling and improves the joint health. Yeah, Ayurvedic treatments, we give it in phases. First, what we do is we remove the toxins from your body. In the second phase, we give medicines that it heals whatever has been disrupted, all those tissues, muscles, the bone, joints. And in the third phase, we give you medicines that will help to improve and rejuvenate that area so that in future you do not again get these sign symptoms repeatedly. But what happens is people usually feel well after the first phase of treatment, just with a simple detoxification and with first phase of medicines. They think that that is over. They don't need to come back again. But that is a wrong notion. It takes time, that's true, because diseases don't happen all of a sudden. You feel the pain maybe one fine morning, but it has been building up since many months or years. So similarly, the body also needs to recover in the same phase. So please do give yourself time to heal your body completely and to make it more stronger. So we give detoxification treatment, rejuvenation treatment. Then you see this Takradhara, it is of buttermilk, medicated buttermilk that we give to calm you down. It calms the nerves. Also, it is good for psoriatic problems. Then there are various Kiri treatments or Potli Swedanam we say, which is filled with various medicines according to your ailments. And this is a fermentation that is done to heal you. After that, the third phase, we give you Vasti, we give you, this is Janu Vasti, that is specifically for the knees. This is Nyavara, or it is a bolus of rice and medicines together. It's a special rice that builds up the muscles and the bones. It makes them more stronger. And yes, yogasanas, physiotherapies, exercises are very important. But please note, if you're having severe swelling, pain, then please don't opt for physiotherapy or yogasanas right then. Because you need to remove those toxins from the body to make the body flexible to endure these exercises. Suppose I just give you an example of a very dry stick. If you bend that dry stick, what happens? It bends immediately. It will break off. But if that stick is kept in the oil for almost 1 day, and next day you try to bend it, it will slightly form a curve. And it takes a long time to break. So we need to understand that from internally, that oilation and building up and improving the tissue health is very important. After that only, you again increase your immunity by yogasanas, physiotherapy, exercises like these procedures. It really helps. And then what yogasanas and flexible asanas are told are mainly for healthy people. So you should not feel I have a problem, I should work on it by forcing it. Please don't do that. Body requires its time to heal. So that's it for today. So thank you for your patient listening. And I would, your questions you can put in the chat box. Please also give your feedback about the session in the chat box. And if you want to know about any specific topics or anything, you can give it in the chat box. Also, we are reachable at Ishka Healthcare. It's a Ayurveda, naturopathy and yoga clinic. It is at HSR Bangalore. You can contact the cell number, get in touch with us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we are open for questions though. So if anybody have any kind of a query, you can always ask our doctor. She's available at Ishka Healthcare in HSR layout. So we'll wait for a few more minutes. Any questions? Please let us know.
We have actually time, only 1 minute remaining. So
yeah. Fine. Anyways, we'll end this session. Thank you, Dr. Joby, for a wonderful presentation, for making us understand about what exactly is arthritis and what the type of arthritis and where we have to look for. At the same time, also well presented for the thing of Ayurvedic therapies as such. So with this, we would like to conclude. Thanks to all the audience who have assembled for this session. Soon we will be coming up with a few more sessions on Ayurveda, naturopathy, and yoga. So all we need you to do is please mail us back with any queries, with any kind of doubts. We are also open for suggestions and feedback. Thank you, one and all, for participation. See you soon in the next session. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much.